you can relax. Colleen and Erik have a podcast. The world is scary and we're locked in our home, but now we have big microphones, so you can relax. That's the name of our podcast.
So handsome, but it's like so sharp. It hurts me.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Relax the Podcast. I'm Colleen Ballinger.
And I am Derek, your husband.
Derek.
All right, I'm going to get right into it.
No offense to Derek's out there, but like that is not a you name.
Okay, so this was brought to mind. This is what I think needs to relax, because you saw me once come for Eric's with the C. Now I'm coming for Derek's.
Okay.
Someone on Twitter named Ava, hi Ava, brought up that every time she hears my name in this podcast, she's hearing Erik when my name is actually Derek. I think that's really strange.
What?
Is it that hard to differentiate?
What are you talking about?
I think this is the new like blue dress, gold dress, or what was the thing where people would
Is
hear
it
like?
because I saw someone say that it sounds like we're saying Colleen and Derek in the intro. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So there was like the blue dress, gold dress thing on Twitter.
I remember that.
And then there was
what
like,
did you see, by the way? Was blue or gold to you?
blue.
Oh, thank God.
And then there was like the thing where you would hear like Yanni or something.
Yeah. Laurel or Yanni or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah. There was that. And now there's Erik or Derek. Like, does it sound like I'm just saying the same name over again?
It definitely doesn't. Love
because
your
my name is Derek. My name's very clearly Derek, but
Wait,
people sometimes hear Erik.
They're hearing Derek because of our sound, like the song that we sing.
Oh,
you can relax. Wait, hold on. Something about
Colleen and Derek.
Yeah, Colleen and Derek. Yeah.
Oh, because you're saying and
Derek. So that's why someone says that. Like,
oh, well, this isn't the first time this has happened to me. I've gone to Starbucks and they've written my name. They said, "What's your name?" They write it on
with
the
a
cup.
CK or a K or C.
I'm saying they've written Derek.
I know, but how did they at least put a K in it for you?
Is there a whole Derek with a C versus Derek with a K thing also?
There must be. If there is for Eric's, I mean, why wouldn't there be for?
I can relate to all the Dereks with a C out there.
I feel like there would be.
Uh-huh.
But when they write it, do they put Derek with a C or a K?
I think usually with a K.
Well, at least there's that.
I think that's the more
common version.
Common version, yeah.
I wouldn't know. I've never heard anyone call you Derek.
Have you ever gone to a Starbucks, said your name, and they've written something different?
Every time. No one says or hears, because my name's Colleen, but everyone says Colleen.
Uh-huh.
And so if I say, sometimes when I almost always when I introduce myself to someone, I say Colleen, just because otherwise, whenever I say my actual name, people are like, "You're what? It can't mean." There's like, how dare I have a strangely pronounced name? So I always say like, "I'm Colleen." That's how I introduce myself. Mm-hmm. And when I do that at Starbucks, they write Colin.
Colin?
And when I write, or Pauline, I get a lot.
You've gotten Pauline?
Pauline, Colin. And if I say Colleen, it's just always spelled crazy.
Like with a Q?
There's like Colene or like Coleen. It's like no one has ever spelled Colleen right on my Starbucks drink until I got the app. And then they have to because it's like
you
on
ever
the
get
order.
colon?
Yes.
They've just written colon on the cup?
Oh, yeah. Colin. Oh, yeah. I've gotten all of them.
Well,
Derek.
My name is Derek. I don't know why you're hearing Erik.
Okay. Apparently his name is Derek. But mine needs to relax. This might be a minute because I really need to talk about this.
What you got?
Listen, guys, who needs to relax from me this week is anyone who has an issue with adults wearing diapers. I feel like, not that anyone has said anything negative to me, but I do feel like there's a stigma against like, you wear diapers when you're a baby and you wear diapers when you're a really old person, right?
And you have incontinence, yes.
And I wore diapers during postpartum. Now, here's my issue. One of my worst pregnancy symptoms is I have to pee every 4 freaking seconds, especially since I get these hydration IV drips almost every day. Mm-hmm. I'm so full of fluid and I have twins. So the amount of blood in my body is substantial. It is like so much more than even just a regular pregnancy. And that causes you to have more pee. Okay?
Urination.
So I pee always, which means I have not slept through the night since I got pregnant, because I'm not kidding. It is every 20 minutes I have to get up out of bed and walk to the bathroom and pee. And it is torture because one, it hurts because I have pelvic pain. So it hurts to get out of bed. It's painful.
Hurt to pee?
No. Doesn't hurt to pee, but it's painful to get in and out
I was
of
going to
bed.
say that might be something else.
Yeah, that's called a UTI. I've had those, but not this pregnancy. So anyway, this is what I'm getting at. I haven't talked to you about this yet. I have seriously been considering wearing diapers to bed. And I just feel like that would be frowned upon. And that's what I think needs to relax, is that I feel like if I were to be like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to wear diapers so I don't have to get up out of bed.
So you're worried about
Everyone would judge me and
backlash.
think yes.
Here's what I'm going to say to you.
What?
I'm on your side.
Oh my God, would you be in support of wearing diapers?
I'm for this.
Will you do it with me? Will you wear diapers with me?
Of course. We've talked on this podcast about how much I hate the feeling of having to pee and have to pee. We've gone over this ad nauseum.
Do you think you could pee in a diaper?
I could pee anywhere.
I don't know that I could.
But if what you think needs to relax is the stigma, yes.
It's got to go. Because
let's go one step further. I say, let's put catheters in and just have catheters in us all the time.
Catheters are more accepted because it's like a medical device that you have to have in you, and like it's usually for a really scary reason or like an important reason.
Yeah,
like I'm saying like voluntary diapers.
Okay.
Like I want to do it. Will you do it with me? Will you one night put on a diaper and we just pee in bed? Will you do
Have
this
we not
with
been
me?
peeing in bed?
Because you guys tell me, what do you think of this? Are you super anti this? Would you judge me so hardcore? You don't understand. I just don't want to have to get out of bed. It hurts.
Oh, for me, I would just get up.
I know, but I'm asking you not to. For me, make the sacrifice.
I mean, like on long car rides, like let's wear diapers. How about that?
Or in bed so that you don't have to get up. I just want one night.
Our bathroom is very close to our bed.
You don't understand the pain of pelvic girdle pain.
Yeah,
it is
I don't.
So awful.
I sure don't.
And to have to experience it multiple times a night to get out of bed to go pee when all I want to do is be asleep it's torture.
What's the ratio?
I'm not kidding. It's every 20 minutes.
You're not going to be uncomfortable. I mean, you're going to be uncomfortable in a wet diaper in bed.
But what if we get there's got to be like super diapers where you don't feel it.
What do you mean?
Like there's got to be diapers where it's like
they're so absorbent that they're almost like instantly feel dry.
Yeah.
I don't think that exists.
Well, I wouldn't know. I've never peed in a diaper in my adult life.
I thought you said you wore them postpartum and
for blood. I didn't pee in them.
And
did you think?
as you said that, everyone listening to this podcast immediately threw their phones out their car windows.
This is now a whole new issue.
That's fine. Now it's just me and you talking.
That's fine. So
after that sentence, there is nobody listening.
I agree with that. But like now we have a whole new issue that my husband thought that my 6 weeks, 2 months of wearing diapers postpartum, I was just peeing in it. You thought I was wearing diapers to pee in it?
I didn't think no, I was.
But you did think I was peeing in it.
I was aware of like the blood issue postpartum.
Yes. But you genuinely thought I was peeing in that diaper? I've never peed.
I just figured that would be bonus. If you have to wear the diaper for the blood anyways, you might as well be peeing, pooping, like whatever you need. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Wait, would you?
No.
So if you're wearing this diaper.
I've never peed in a diaper.
So pelvic girdle pain from pregnancy is bad. So
awful.
you don't want to get up to pee.
It hurts.
That's the reason. So it's just like.
Well, and I'm tired. I don't want to have to like keep getting up.
You're tired. You have to pee many times. It hurts to walk.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just pee in a diaper in bed?
Mm-hmm.
Poop?
No. I'm not going to sit in my poop.
That's worth the pain?
That's worth the pain.
What if they make a super diaper that it feels dry?
The disappears? No. It's absolutely not. There's no scenario in which I would want to poop in a diaper, except for when we're on an RV in a camping trip, and it was my only option.
What about like a cup? Could you keep?
That's kind of weird that I have peed. I've never peed in a diaper, but I've pooped in a diaper as an adult. Like that's kind of weird.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
I mean, I didn't like put on a diaper, guys. It was my son's diaper. We were on an RV trip. It was an emergency situation. Erik and I both had to resort to some really strange things on that trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I think needs to relax. I think the stigma against adults wearing diapers just to go pee, like for no reason other than like, I don't want to go to the bathroom. I want to lay here. You just brought up the idea of a cup. That's still.
I was going to say, I was going to say cup or jar. Like if there's some sort of.
I don't have what you have.
You can't just like
no
roll over and like pee into a cup or jar
That's
and
not
just
a thing.
Stay in bed.
That's not a thing for girls. I would have to get out of the bed and like squat. It's way easier to sit on a toilet than just pee in a cup. like times a million.
What about like, isn't there like a Diva cup? What's that? Can
That's
you
for
pee
periods.
in those?
You cannot. It's a different hole, first of all.
I'm not saying it's the same hole.
A cup would not fit in the pee hole area. So that does not work. So I feel like we need to have an education, like a female biology class with you. Because a Diva cup, should we talk about Diva cups? Do you know how many holes I have?
Can you poop in them? Remember when you had to explain to me how pads worked and that they had like stickers that stuck to your underwear?
Eric thought that pads went on the wait, where did you? Oh no, he thought it stuck to your body, not the underwear.
Well, I didn't even know that it had like a sticky side.
Because there's like a trend on TikTok where you go like, hey, what do I do when I have to pee if I'm wearing a pad? Like you ask a boy. And I just thought everyone knew. So I assumed Eric would know the answer to this. Like when you have to pee, what do you do with the pad? And he was like, you just like peel it off and pee, and like he couldn't figure it out. And I was like, it's on your underwear, and it like blew his mind that the pad goes on the underwear.
I never knew that.
It's great. But you know what else is great?
Whatever company this is so happy that their lead-in was like, can you poop in a Diva cup? And now it's you know what that reminds me of?
Solid Gold Pet.
Yeah.
Solid Gold Pet is great. It actually really, really is. I'm so excited that we get to talk about Solid Gold Pet today, guys. This is a new sponsor for us, and I love it. Did you know, Eric? Did you know that up to 80% of the immune system is influenced by the gut? Did you know this?
In pets or in humans?
Well, let's find out.
I don't think I knew it was 80%, but
That sounds
I knew
like a lot.
I knew that like gut health has a lot to do. That's why the whole probiotic kick is big right now.
Did you know that supporting the immune system through proper diet and digestive health enables pets to better fight environmental allergies? Solid Gold is passionate about gut health because a healthy digestive system positively impacts the immune system and overall wellness of pets. Solid Gold's nutritional platform is inspired by their founding belief that high-quality food is the best way to impact our pet's mind, body, and spirit. For over 45 years, Solid Gold has revolutionized the holistic pet food category, and they have a recipe for any dog or cat's dietary needs, including healthy whole grain and grain-free options, wet food, supplements like sea meal, and 100% human-grade bone broth for dogs. We use this for Moose. Moose is my best friend's dog who's here every single day. So Moose is essentially like a family pet to us as well. And Moose has anxiety. And sometimes Moose just gets too anxious to eat. I feel him. Like I get that way sometimes, you know, when you're too anxious to eat.
Yeah, for sure.
And we have tried so many different things, putting treats, cat treats, all this stuff in his food to get him to eat when he's having like an anxious day. And this bone broth, he gobbles it straight down. He's like, yes, bone broth. Like, and it really does help. And it's so good for him. So it's nice to know we're not putting like a cat treat in there. It's like something that's actually good for him, and it's helping him to eat on those days where he's not feeling his best. Solid Gold foods are different because they cleanse the digestive system with whole superfoods, balance with living probiotics, and fuel with omega-3 and 6 fatty acids, supporting gut health and nourishing your pet inside and out. I feel like I need this. I feel like this is what I need for me.
Are we making bone broth tonight?
No. It's really awesome. And Moose loves it. We have also like these treats that are essentially vitamins for him. He loves them. He like drools when we get the little box for them. They're great. If you guys want to check them out, you should. Right now, to save 30% on select Solid Gold products, go to solidgoldpet.com/relax.
30%?
30%.
My goodness.
That's solidgoldpet.com/relax to save 30% on select Solid Gold products. Remember, solidgoldpet.com/relax. Go check it out.
Tell them we sent you.
Okay, guys, we have something really exciting for you.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. So I asked on Twitter for you guys to plan this week's episode. So we got tons of really fun responses. You guys had some great ideas. I was like, why are we not doing this every week? Because like they just essentially wrote the podcast for us this week. So thank you to anyone who follows us on Twitter and gave us lovely.
Oh, and we get to interact. It's fun.
I know. It's fun. We're stoked. But a bunch of people were like, where's Truck of the Day? Like you guys haven't done Truck of the Day in so long.
It has been a while.
And I was like, yeah, why haven't we done it? And we kind of just go whenever Flynn asks to do it. So that's why it has been a while. He hasn't really thought of it or asked about it. So tonight I was like, do you want to do Truck of the Day? And he was like, yeah, I want to talk about my garbage truck. And he got so excited.
Very excited.
So you guys, Truck of the Day is back. Let's go listen.
Flynn's truck of the day.
Oh, truck of the day. Truck of the day.
Flynn's truck of the day. It's Flynn's truck of the day. Chuck
Truck
of
of
the
the day.
Are you excited to do a truck of the day?
Yeah.
What's the truck of the day today?
The garbage truck.
Hey Flynn, what's a garbage truck do?
The dumps things in the bag to the trough, and that's what.
Wow, lots and lots. What does it pick up?
It picks up holes to pick up the pickup trash cans in that hole.
Oh, did any trash cans come to our house?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They are really at my house. Yeah.
And what they do here?
And the garbage truck dumps them into the pack
Oh.
to dump. The man waved to me.
Yeah? Did he ever honk his horn?
The honk is corn.
He honk his corn. Do you want to sing a song about garbage trucks?
Garbage trucks. Oh.
That was a great song.
Garbage truck. I love garbage trucks.
That's a great song. It's beautiful.
Want to show me green one? I'll go get my green one.
Oh, he wants to show you guys his green one.
Need the green garbage truck.
Okay.
The dumpster. My daddy's gonna get my trash truck.
Woohoo! Party!
Party.
Found it.
You found it, Flynn. Can you tell me about your trash truck?
The garbage truck dumped the dumpsters.
Mm-hmm. So this is the dumpster.
That's the dumpster. Oh, yeah.
It sure is.
Bye-bye.
And that was Flynn's truck of the day. Flynn's truck of the day. Aw, he's so cute. He's so talkative today.
He was.
He was like really into
He
it.
leveled up.
And he was like, I'm gonna hold the microphone. I know what this thing does now. He was like very into
It was a little
like
bit, scary
how much he knew
He
what
was
to do. It was a little
more professional at
Yeah.
this than us.
so yeah, that was
Garbage trucks, have been a big thing in our house
well for a long time.
for a long time, to the point whereas we have garbage truck pajama sets that he has that he always wears
The night
on
before.
Wednesday nights because Thursday morning is garbage day.
Mm-hmm.
And then me and him will get up and we'll sit in the driveway
Mhm.
in like beach chairs and wait for them to come. And it's like our Super Bowl sporting event. It's like the
It's
screaming
so
and cheering,
excited.
and the garbage men now know him and will wave and honk.
It's very
Um,
exciting.
Yeah. And this week there was a holiday. There was July 4th. And
Last
so,
week when they're listening to
Okay.
this.
Yeah. So last week. And so they had pushed it a couple days. So we had gone out there. We were all set up and then they never came. And it was,
A little sad. Flynn had to wear his
What a bummer.
pajama, trash truck pajamas 2 days in a row.
Yeah. well, he has like 3 sets, like full pant and shirt sets. that
Yes.
are garbage truck themed.
So he loves a garbage truck. He loves all things
doesn't?
trucks. He's adorable. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, you guys asked for a lot of different things on Twitter for this episode. We have so many fun things to talk about. Ghost stories, relationship things. You guys wanted advice on stuff, our experiences with celebrities. There's so many fun topics that we're going to try to nail today if we have time. But I just have to say this. I'd say the majority of the requests were like an entire episode on your relationship. They want to know every detail about our relationship.
What?
And here's what I'll say to that is like, it's like over the years, we have told the story of our relationship.
I feel like we've done that already.
I don't know. Here's what I'm going to say. If you guys have specific questions, we can answer them. But when it's just like, tell us your relationship.
It's pretty good.
It's great. Our relationship, here's the like cliff notes, which we've told this before. We met doing Haters Back Off. And then during season 2, we got really close, became friends, and then got closer and became really good friends after the show. And then that quickly morphed into more. And we're like, oh, we are very much in love. Let's have a baby and get married. And that's how it happened for us. We don't have like anniversaries or we both are like, did we have a first date? Like, I don't know. It just kind of like just happened. Like we just hang out. And then it was just eventually like, oh, I think we're in love.
Well, there was like, we were just hanging out.
It was
We
like
were
we could
friends.
read each
But
other's
then there was
minds.
Then
It
there
was
was
just
the
like,
time where we were hanging out and then we were like kind of cuddling. And then it was like, that was pretty good.
Yeah. I know, but like, I don't remember dates. I feel like a bad girl. Like, I feel like that sounds weird to say bad girl, but like, I feel like most people, no, shut up. No, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, but both, what's good is that Erik and I are both really bad at that stuff. Like, we don't know our wedding anniversary.
I don't, I saw your brother, and Jessica posted something about their wedding anniversary. Like, oh, we should do a trip for our next anniversary. And I was like, what's my anniversary?
I know. It's sometime, I know it's in November.
I know it's in November.
Yeah. We have this conversation every year. I don't know. I don't
Before
know.
Thanksgiving.
I don't know.
A couple days. Yeah.
I really don't know. But anyway, so there were some specific questions
And
about
that kind of sums up.
the majority of the people on Twitter were like, a relationship episode. I'm like, I don't know. Like, what do you want to know? Like, so I picked out a couple questions from you guys that I thought were interesting, and I thought we could talk about those. So one person said they wanted to know unique qualities that we love about each other. And I thought that was interesting. So because I love everything about you, but a unique quality about you, like there's a lot that I love, but I think one of my favorite things about you, other than like the obvious, like you're super hot and talented and amazing.
Oh my gosh, go on.
is I love your projects. I love when you do projects. Like whenever I come downstairs and I see you in the backyard, like building something, like building a coffee table or like, I don't know. I love your little projects that you do because they always happen when like you say like, I just need a day off from everything. Like I've been so stressed with like work or whatever. And your day off, I love this about you, is not just sitting on the couch, farting, watching TV. Not that there's anything wrong with that because that's my life right now.
Yeah, I don't really, it's funny. This podcast is called Relax. I don't really know how to.
Right.
So
well, that's why we called it Relax.
Like
we don't
me
do
relaxing is like, doing
projects,
manual labor. Like,
and love it. Always makes me smile when you're doing stuff like that. So that was one.
Nice. I like this episode already.
I like
one
more?
thing.
Okay, there's more. One of another favorite like quality about you that I love is something that I've seen since you've become a dad, and I never knew what kind of dad you would be. I just knew you'd be an awesome dad. So I was like so excited to have kids with you. But I love how you do not care at all what, like no one is watching. When you were with Flynn, like you are not afraid to have a crazy imagination. And I love it because I'm that way too. And that's so special and important to me because I feel like it has shaped and molded Flynn into like the coolest little guy with the most creative brain. And I'll never forget the first time he was like really turning into a little human and he could like kind of talk and interact and whatever. And you and I both, without discussing anything, just got on the couch and we're like, oh, the ground it's the ocean. And we both were just like being totally insane, turning into turtles and sharks and fishies and doing all this stuff with him. And that's like one of my favorite memories as a family, is the first time I was like, oh, this man is like totally down to have the craziest imagination with Flynn. And it happens every day, all the time with you and him. And I love that. I feel like so often I see parents who just don't really want to do imagination or it's just not their jam, which is totally fine too. But I love that about you. I love that I think it helps his little brain be creative. So that's one of my favorite qualities.
I like committing to playing with him. You know what I mean? Like really.
Oh, you commit.
Yeah. I like, and it's so fun for me too, to be in that mindset and just, you know what I mean? To revert to that.
Yeah.
With him, like today in the sprinkler, like getting soaked, you know what I mean? But like pretending it was a car wash was like very fun. Oh, that's so sweet.
I have more.
I love this episode.
One more.
Oh. I'm gonna cry.
Another one. I love your, this is my last one for interesting or whatever qualities. I love how you talk because it is the most Erik accent ever. No one else in your family talks like you. You have an accent.
What is it?
It's Erik. I don't know. You pause in the middle of sentences. And in the middle of sentences, you say, yeah, you know what I mean? and like when you haven't said anything yet, you'll be like, because, I was thinking, you know what I mean? That tomorrow when it's like, because you know what I mean? Like you do that.
That's
and I'm
not
like,
an accent. That's like
no, but you do have an accent
idiosyncrasy.
too. You kind of have an East Coast accent a little bit. But your family doesn't?
It comes and goes. They don't?
No one in your family does. Maybe your brother does a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I love it.
My parents like were from Virginia, Rhode Island. And my father also like went to school when he was young in England. So like the accents may vary. Like they're not from like up like the Northeast Coast
Mhm.
originally. You know what I mean? To whereas I, being in New Jersey till 4th grade and like, public schools all the way, always in like in a sport or something and around other kids like from that area, and then Southern Connecticut after that. Yeah, I don't know. There is like that like tri-state area kind of I don't know. There's something.
You have an
but I
accent.
don't think I have an accent.
You have a little bit of an accent. I remember the first time we talked on the phone and your just Erik-isms came out as you talked. And one of the things that you do is you pause in the middle of sentences for a long period of time. And I'm extremely uncomfortable with silence or like lulls in conversation. And so I was like, why? I don't want to interrupt him, but like, he didn't finish his sentence. Do I talk now? And so I'd be like, yeah. I feel like I was trying to fill the silence. And then it took me a while to realize that that's just how you like take long pauses in the middle of your sentences. But that made me very panicky at first when we first started talking. Yeah.
I think I grew up like very shy. And so like I wouldn't talk unless I had something to say. Not that anything I say now is like profound or anything.
But yeah, that is something I love about you now. But like, all right. So now you're supposed to say qualities about me, but I didn't prepare you for that. So you don't have to.
I feel a little bit on the spot, but I would just say there's so much little isms that you have that are you that I love and cherish
and hate.
But you as a person are just the best person that I've ever known, and I'm lucky enough to love and love me back. But I think your talent and generosity. I feel like I'm giving a toast.
Yeah.
But
I know. I feel like it's my birthday.
I will say that like today we like your parents were watching Flynn, so we got to go for a little lunch date, and we laughed in the car a lot. So I was like, I wonder what else you haven't been diagnosed with yet, like or misdiagnosed. Like
because he said left or right, and I said left confidently multiple times.
I'm in a minivan, mind you, have to like get over into the left lane. The blinker is on, like I'm there. Then you go, oh no, right.
And it's not because I read the directions wrong. It's because I don't know my left from right.
Which is then what you told me is that, sorry, I get my left and right mixed up, which is like.
Every time. And I go, and I don't know if that's a dyslexia thing or an ADHD thing or just an I'm an idiot thing. But one of those things means I never say the right, left, and right. Ever.
I know, but see, like during the day, I'm working with a 2-year-old who can do the full alphabet, and you say, draw a circle, draws a circle, draw a square, draws a square. And then with my wife in the car, I say, is it left or right? She says left. Oh, wait, no, it's right. Sorry. I don't know left.
Yeah. And then so after that, he goes, what else do you have? What else are you living with undiagnosed?
Yeah. And I just.
Probably a lot.
I just love it. It's just
love that I have a lot of undiagnosed diseases and disorders.
It's just always like a adventure. And even when like, because normally I feel like there might be a circumstance to where that would be a point of contention with a couple or frustrating in some way, but we just laugh. We're just laughing, and we just have a good time. And I love the way you eat burritos. Like you have this very strange way of eating burritos, to whereas you will order a bean and cheese burrito.
It's from Taco Bell. This is how I eat them.
You will like rip it open and then squeeze out.
I take a bite. I don't
entrails.
rip it. I take a bite.
You take a bite to make a hole. And then you'll squeeze out all the beans, like literally all of the beans and cheese. And then you're just eating a tortilla that is wet at that point.
No, and that's what he said. He said you
wet?
just want a wet tortilla. And I said, no, I want a tortilla with the essence of the beans.
You just want
and
an
you laughed
essence,
at that. You were like
an essence, like an essenced water. You want an essenced tortilla?
I want a LaCroix burrito.
Oh.
I want the flavor of the beans and the sauce and the cheese, but like, I don't want all that mush.
You know, they make like flavored tortillas. They make like the spinach tortilla, the tomato and herb tortilla. What if they made a bean and cheese flavored tortilla?
No, I don't want that. Because I want some of it in there.
You want the wetness. You want it to be
just a little bit.
Can I say moist?
I don't want to. I want some moistened. Of the goop. I want it in there.
It's dampened.
Like if you open up, like if you bite into a burrito and let's say it's like 2-3 inches thick of stuff, I want like half an inch.
Yeah, no, it's not like a little bit. It's not like you're like making it more manageable. It's all gone.
It's pretty much gone. But I don't know. I love it. I've done that since I was a little girl. You can ask my parents. I used to, when I was a little girl at Taco Bell, I would scrape all the beans out and then make my parents re-roll my burrito. So I've done it since I was a little girl. I have a lot of weird little things I've done since I was a little girl. I don't like sitting on seats or booths at restaurants. Since I could stand and sit in restaurants, I would stand at the edge of the table. I didn't want to sit down in them.
How did we get here from you don't like all this stuff in burritos?
Because I've done it since I was a little girl. These are things I've done.
Things? Yeah, we're just going through all your neuroses.
Okay, we're done. No, okay.
No, I have more.
Okay.
Another one of my absolute favorite things about you, which was great because today I heard it for the first time in like a little bit.
My farts?
No, those I hear constantly. Is you singing around the house?
Oh.
Is just the echo of you
constantly
singing and belting something out? No, not constantly. Like it used to be like more constant and then it was less, but like this morning I got up and was with Flynn and I could just hear you like upstairs belting something. I don't know what it was, but it made me instantly like comfortable and it felt really good. I love that you do that. I think it's because you have a show coming up maybe that you're...
July 31st. I'm trying to like prep and plan for that.
That was not me plugging your
well,
live,
you can go
live,
get tickets if you want.
Internet concert, but yeah, feel free. But that would be
well, thanks. I like hearing
another
you
one
sing
of
too.
my favorite things.
There's a lot of things. We could do a whole episode on the things we love about each other if you guys want to hear that. But instead, we're going to talk about something even cooler than you and me in our relationship. And that is Aura. I'm so excited. Lovey, this is so exciting.
I'm excited.
Because it helps keep us safe and it can help keep you guys safe too. The way you use the internet has changed dramatically over the last decade, but security tools have mostly stayed the same. Aura provides digital security protection to keep your online finances, personal information, and tech safe from online threats. It's all-in-one protection from identity theft, financial fraud, malware, scam sites, and so much more. With Aura, you'll get alerted to fraud and threats fast. That's what I like. I hate when you like don't even know that it happened. Like when your identity gets stolen and like you find out later after you're like, what are these transactions that have happened that I did not do?
Yeah, if you like check your online bank account and you
frustrating.
See like,
so I love that they do it super fast. Like if your online accounts or passwords were leaked online or if someone tries to open a bank account in your name, they'll let you know.
Immediately.
Right away. It's awesome.
ASAP.
And it's easy to set up. All plans come with $1 million in identity theft insurance to help recover your stolen funds and experienced US-based customer support that's got your back. Aura is a new type of security service that protects all of your online information and devices with one simple subscription. With an easy online dashboard and alerts sent straight to your phone, Aura keeps you in control and guides you through solving any issues. It's super helpful, especially with how scary the internet is these days. Like this is just a great tool to have.
Yeah, I've had like in the past, like way past, I've had my identity stolen a couple times.
Yeah,
and,
me too.
And nowadays it's like everything is like Apple Pay, Shop Pay. You know what I mean? You're just like,
it's kind of scary.
Pay with your face, pay with your thumb.
There are times where like I just pick up my phone, just like turn it on, and it's like there's a picture of my credit card on my phone, and it's like pay now, and I'm like paying for what? What am I paying for? What's happening?
What if we've been hacked?
I know, it's scary. So this will just give you that extra level of like protection and comfort in this scary world that we're now living in with the internet. So for a limited time, Aura is offering our listeners up to 40% off plans when you visit aura.com/relax. Go to aura.com/relax to get complete protection and savings of up to 40%. That's aura.com/relax. Go check it out. All right.
What else you got?
We got some more relationship questions and then some fun ones. I don't know if these relationship ones are fun.
More relationship ones? Oh.
Well, this was an interesting question, I thought. Bella said, how did both of your views on starting a family change when you found love? I know for me, I always wanted to be a mom since I was a little girl. I always envisioned myself being a single mom to two little girls. That was always like my dream as a young kid. I didn't want anything to do with a man.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
But then I knew I always wanted kids. I always wanted to have a family, but it wasn't till you and I fell in love that I was like, oh, I need to have children with this person immediately. Like I have to. Like it was like so exciting and important to me to do that with you.
Yeah, I would concur. You know, it's funny. I just thought about, I wonder if we can get a picture of it, but like we were just in Santa Barbara, next to your childhood bedroom, next to your bed is this like, you know how you would make the ceramics, like in, what grade was that?
Probably fifth.
I was gonna say like
grade.
You know, first grade it looks like you made
no,
that, but you're like I made that as a senior in high school.
Fifth grade for sure.
And it's like a mother holding a baby, and like it just and then the other night you were like teaching me how to French braid because you were like, you were not feeling well, and you were like, can you play with my hair? And then I was
trying to teach him how to French braid because I taught myself how to French braid when I was a little girl on my dolls for the reason that I knew when I got older, I wanted to braid my daughter's hair. Like I did it because one, I wanted my hair to look cute, but also like I was so excited to do that to my daughters someday if I ever were lucky enough to have daughters.
Right.
And so that was something I always wanted, but never had that like, oh my God, I have to have children with this person. I've never had that before until I met you. And I remember when we met, like on set season 1, you know, we weren't really close season 1 at all, but I was so busy and whatever. But like we had a few conversations, and I remember one of the conversations, like casually with the cast, you saying like, oh yeah, I never want to get married. I never want to have kids. Like it was like very like,
yeah, I think
that's not for me.
I think it's one of those things where unless like you like meet that person, like you're not going to know that that's possible in your lifetime. Like until you like meet the person that like that's supposed to happen with both those things, it doesn't seem possible because it hasn't happened before. And like, and this stuff hasn't like worked before to, you know, it just hadn't even occurred to me that it was possible to meet someone that you would want to marry, or that it was possible for that. Yeah, it's
I remember starting to like have feelings for you and being like, well, I remember him saying once a long time ago that he never wanted to be married and have kids. So I guess that's something I have to accept if like I like this person, and like I guess okay. Like, and I was like so willing to let go of like being a mom if that meant I could be with you.
Nice.
And then shortly after I remember having those thoughts, you said to me like, I want to marry you and have kids. And I was like, what? So
I just blurted that out.
Yeah,
out of nowhere.
you did. Yeah, you like. I mean, we were probably having like some sweet conversation, and I don't know, but like I
just said that to you.
Yeah, I think so. I think we went from like we were like friendly and then cuddling, and then we're like,
you didn't say it to me first.
I think we're in love. Like, I think I'm pretty sure I never said it because you had already said casually in conversation that was not something you wanted.
I told you I love you first because I was like,
yes,
but like in like I'm thinking something right now. Can you guess what I'm thinking? Kind of a way.
Yeah, you did say that first. But you definitely said like, yeah, I want to marry you and have kids with you. And it blew my mind because I was like, you said you didn't want that. And you're like, I do with you. And I was like, oh, then I don't have to like give that up.
Life's funny that way.
Isn't that funny?
I guess. Yeah. No,
so
until
funny.
you meet, until like, I don't know. It just.
Yeah.
But you're never ready for it.
No,
it's just,
we're not ready for it now. We already have a kid.
Even when you want it, like you don't think it's going to happen.
We have a kid. We have 2 more coming and we're married and I'm not ready for it.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah.
All right. This one I thought was interesting. Okay. Then we're moving into the fun stuff. Wyndham Rice said, talk about ADHD in marriage.
That's a good name.
Wyndham
Rice.
I like it. They said, talk about ADHD in marriage and your best tips for navigating that. I'm in a neurodiverse marriage and am the Erik, and my husband is the Colleen.
Oh.
So I have ADHD, and
I got
a lot of other things, probably. Who knows?
And I'm stressed.
I think that, he's really great at listening to me talk about ADHD and how it affects me. And I think, though, that just like loving each other and accepting each other is like, it helps you to not get so upset with my ADHD-ness.
Yeah.
Because like it affects
not
a lot
in
a relationship.
Not taking it personally.
Yes.
I think is like the biggest thing I can say about it is to like do like, even though that's really hard sometimes, is to try your best not to take it personally. And it's a journey.
What he means by that is, well, in case anyone doesn't know, I'll say this quickly. ADHD, I think oftentimes is thought of just like, oh, you have a hard time focusing and you're like hyper. But like there's a lot of issues with it that like strongly affect a relationship, like being easily distracted. I have a really hard time focusing on conversations. So there's a lot of times where Erik is talking to me and I can't hear him. Like I'm looking him in the face and going, you're not paying attention. What is he saying? I don't know what he's saying because I'm like thinking of 1,000 different things. It's really frustrating for me because I want to hear what he's saying. And it's really frustrating for him to feel like he's not being listened to. And that is something that's equally frustrating for both of us. I'm not doing it on purpose, but like I've gotten better at being like, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what you just said. Say that again. And he doesn't get like upset. He's just like, oh, and then says it again, So that's hard and frustrating. And then also another big element of it is like hyper focusing on things and fixing it. So like I'll go to my office to work on something and be like, I'll be done in 20 minutes. And I'll think it's 20 minutes.
And I just accept that, like, in my
I'm
mind,
gone for hours.
that like she's gone for hours. Like when she says, hey, we're going somewhere and we're leaving at 10 a.m., I just know that we're leaving at noon.
Yeah.
And I just accept that.
Well, because I'm genuine when I
and
say
that
those
way
things.
I'm not like, hey, you said we're leaving at 10. Like I just am now like, oh, well, I don't have to be ready for hours. Like I just accept that.
There's also the element of like, if you were to have that attitude about it, the shame and guilt and like self-hatred that comes with my ADHD. I mean, everyone, it's different in everyone. But for me, like, to then be told I did something wrong for something I can't control, like I feel like I have no control over it, makes me feel upset. And so the fact that he's just very, I don't know, I feel like you're really good with that. But I mean, there's so many things. My disorganization, I'm a freaking mess. I'm forgetful.
I've learned to enjoy cleaning.
You know, that is not true. But there's one thing.
I did. There are little things you can do. Like, so yes, you are
A mess.
messy. And are you saying that's a symptom of?
It is. Big time.
Of course. And you have Persian cats.
Yeah.
And so
that's not a symptom of ADHD. That's
not?
just a
Are you
fact.
sure? And so what do? I bought a Roomba.
Yeah.
A Roomba is a
Little robot.
a robot vacuum.
Right.
That's my ally against you and your cats.
And my ADHD. But
it doesn't pick up Taco Bell wrappers or half drunk Coca-Cola cans.
Oh, you know, that's another unique quality I love about you.
What?
He does something every night at dinner. After dinner, we eat dinner together, and every night, no matter what, when, where we are, unless it's a restaurant, of course, which we're never at, you always take my plate. And I always think of it as like it's the sweetest
at the end of a meal?
At the end of the
to
meal.
The dishwasher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I know in my head, I take it as like he loves me, and he like that is so sweet that he does that. And I know in your head, you're like, she's going to forget to do this and I'm going to have to clean it up tomorrow. So I'm going to do it now.
Like,
but in my head, I'm like, oh,
well,
he loves it. It means so much to me.
I know that you won't, but like I also
I
like,
love that about you.
Yeah, but
so
that would
sweet.
be my second thing other than like, don't take it personally is to like, it's fun to, if this is your partner, help them and to like be proactive in ways that are helpful like that. Or I have this habit now of when I go grocery shopping, when I get back, all the fruits and vegetables, I take all the stickers off of and put them in the trash before I put them in the fruit bowl.
It's the sweetest thing I've ever heard in my life.
But it pleases me that is helpful.
I have like a weird phobia of stickers. I think this episode just making me sound really weird. I've got
but
issues.
It pleases me to be helpful. So like, if you can get into that mode.
Yeah. I do feel like
and then good luck for the rest of it.
There's a big ADHD. Interrupting a lot. I interrupt a lot. Like I'm sure I have 1,000 times. And that's a comment we get. That's a comment we get a lot. It's like, Colleen, let him talk. And I'm like, I have cried over those comments because it's like something that like is so frustrating that I hate that I do it. And I try so hard not to do it. But it's, and you've experienced this so many times. If I don't say the thought the second I have it, it is gone. Well, especially forever.
Yeah, this is like a free flowing conversational medium. Like, how do we wrangle that in this?
But like, I'm not kidding. If I don't say something the second I think of it, I will never say it. And so there's a panic in me when I have a thought of like, I have to say it right now. Don't say it. Listen, finish, let him finish. And when he finishes, I'm like, I don't remember what I was going to say. And I didn't hear what he said because I was so focused on not interrupting him. So I didn't hear what he said. And I now have forgotten what I'm going to say. It's so frustrating. And I will say that like medication helped me a lot. Medication and therapy helped me a lot. I'm not on medication right now because I'm pregnant. And it has been so hard. It is so awful.
There's sparks shooting out of your mouth right now.
Oh, it's
How is
so
there sparks and smoke shooting out of your mouth?
So hard.
But I will say it doesn't bother me.
I know.
It doesn't bother me. So I'm sorry if it bothers anyone listening and they're like, let him talk. Well, it's not bothering me. So I don't know if you think you're on my side or helping me. That's not true. Like
he's a great partner for me.
I love listening to you talk. You have good thoughts. You got a good brain.
You know, that's so funny. That was always like the first compliment I think you ever gave me was like, you got a good brain. And I've never heard, no one has ever said that to me before. And I've always thought there's something wrong with my brain. And that's your favorite thing about me. Mm-hmm. So you've said. But there is one huge ADHD trait that we share. And I love it. You don't have, I mean, maybe you have ADHD. Who knows? It seems like everyone does these days.
Yeah,
but
something.
But impulsivity, like being impulsive, like impulsively buying stuff, doing things like spontaneously. And I feel like we're both
does
like
the
that.
pandemic impulse count?
You were doing that before the pandemic.
Not to the extent.
You like support that with me. Like this is an issue in relationships with ADHD. I feel like the impulsive behaviors that are like, I have to do this right now, or I want to do this, we're gonna do it right now. I feel like we're both like that. And so that is wonderful. I love that. Like we both are like, you're like, I bought 6 pairs of shoes last night. I don't know. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I bought 800 things I'll never wear.
I've never bought 6 pairs of shoes at a time.
Not at a time, but like we buy things impulsively all the time. Yesterday, you're like yesterday.
Roomba was the thing I just mentioned. Yeah.
Well, yesterday you're like, I want a coffee table for the backyard patio area. You found one you liked, and you're like, well, I can order it and it'll be here in a few days, but like, or I can call. I can go get it right now.
You don't have it.
I'm gonna go get it right now.
The one near us.
You needed it
but
right
I can
now.
go to the one in Santa Monica.
You needed it right now. And I love that because, and you're like that with everything. If you need a plant for a certain area of the house, is like, we're going right now. We have to do the plant.
You were saying projects. When I'm doing projects, these are not things that take a long. Like once I start a project, I'm like, I need to start it.
Yeah.
And then finish it like in a go.
Yeah. So I love all of these things.
Diagnose that. Somebody. Doctors. All the doctors listening to this.
There's so many wonderful things about you. So those are just a couple of the like relationship centered questions. So if you guys want to know more, we can, if we ever do another episode where you guys get to, plan the whole thing, that would be a good thing to do. Just, give us specific questions and we can talk about these things.
This was an impulse buy. This was just an Instagram
I love that.
ad of a sweatshirt, a Champion sweatshirt that just says plants.
I love it.
And I was like, immediately needed to buy it.
I love it. And you know what's helping our impulse buying so much?
Is it the Calm app?
No.
Oh, it's okay.
No, but something that's helping us so much with all of our impulse buying. Stitch Fix.
Oh, yeah.
Stitch Fix is a classic.
Then I don't even have to think about it.
It's so good. Stitch Fix is awesome. Shopping for new clothes can be needlessly stressful. So why not let Stitch Fix make it easy by doing the work for you so you can spend time doing the things you love instead, like playing with plants and making coffee tables and things, You need your time.
Coffee tables. Can I get a personal shopper through this?
You certainly can.
Like a stylist?
You know how I know? You have one that has been sending us stuff every month.
That's true.
Stitch Fix offers clothing hand-selected by expert stylists for your unique style, size, and budget. It's a completely different and fun way to find clothes that you will love to wear. Every piece is chosen for your fit and your life, and it's the easy solution to finding what makes you look and feel your best. And it does. You look super cute in those clothes, Lovey. Try on pieces at home before
It's a good episode. I feel like it's just lots of compliments for me.
Try on pieces at home before you buy. Keep what you love and return what you don't. Stitch Fix has free shipping, easy returns and exchanges, and a prepaid return envelope is included. So this is amazing. I hate returning clothes that I don't like. When I buy clothes online, they don't fit. Or like, especially right now, I'm growing. Like you guys, literally this bump, it grows an inch a day. I swear to God. It's like my clothes, I'm growing out of my clothes. Like weekly, I have to get new stuff. And it's so frustrating when I can't return stuff. And Stitch Fix, they give you the prepaid labeled package just right. You just put it in there and you send it back. It's so easy. It's amazing. I highly recommend. There's no subscription required. Mm-hmm. What were you going to say about that, love?
Well, I was going to talk about the prepaid thing for returns. Like it literally comes with just a bag with the postage on it. Put the clothes you don't want in that bag, chuck it in a mailbox. You're done. Like you don't have to go anywhere.
It's amazing. There's no subscription required. Try Stitch Fix once or set up automatic deliveries. You'll pay just a $20 styling fee for each box, which gets credited toward pieces you keep. And there are no hidden fees ever. Stitch Fix has styles and clothing to fit any occasion for women, men, and kids. They ship all over the US and they're available in the UK as well. So get started today at stitchfix.com/relax and you'll get 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. That's stitchfix.com/relax for 25% off when you keep everything in your fix. Stitchfix.com/relax. Okay, so the majority of the tweets that we got about this episode were about our relationship, but we did get some other fun stuff. One I really liked was someone said, tell us your best and worst celebrity encounters. I've had a lot of celebrity encounters. So has Erik.
Same, yeah.
And I feel like I've told most of mine online, but I will say this. I haven't met that many that were bad. Everyone like Jerry Seinfeld, sweetest, most amazing guy ever. Jimmy Fallon, incredibly kind, wonderful, hilarious, sweet. Rosie O'Donnell was amazing. I mean, I feel like the list, I got to work with Fifth Harmony, like all those girls, and they were all really nice and wonderful. I literally can't even think of a celebrity that was mean. I know that when I hosted The View, I'm going to give you some tea. When I hosted The View.
I don't think I've seen that.
You don't want to see it. I
Did you do it multiple times or just one time?
Just once. I co-hosted. It was terrifyingly stressful. I was very nervous.
I want to watch that.
I don't remember like specifics because I block out bad memories from my brain. But Rosie O'Donnell was delectably wonderful, like lovely, so kind. Like she was so kind to me. And
she seems like that's nice to hear.
All of the other girls were not.
Yeah.
And I don't
I don't know. Yeah, we don't have to say
I don't know.
name.
We're not going to say anyone's names. But like they weren't like mean. So like no one like was mean to me, but it was just like very obvious. They did not care about me, didn't want me there, didn't want to have conversations with me. Just kind of like snooty, but they could have been having bad days. You have to get to set like 4:30 in the morning. Like they're exhausted. I kind of chalked it up to like, they don't know who I am. They're probably just like this weird internet girl's here. Like, this is annoying. Like, so I wasn't like offended or hurt by it, but like, they weren't kind. They weren't mean. They weren't kind. And honestly, the only people that are famous that have been like rude and awful have been YouTubers. And I've met some of the most amazing people in the universe through YouTube. Like I have some of the best friends in the world through YouTube that just
what are you talking about? Are
amazing. But there are people that I have, worked with on YouTube or like worked with on projects that were like unbelievably rude. And I hope I will never say that like who they are. Cause I don't want to like hurt anyone or like, make drama or whatever. But like, as far as like mainstream Hollywood celebrities, I've never met one that was like super rude to me ever.
Yeah, no.
Have you?
Me neither, really. No, I mean in the professional sense. So I've been in LA for over 10 years, and I've worked on a lot of sets and projects. And everyone, even when you're like kind of intimidated because they're kind of like the celebrity, they're number one on the call sheet, like, and then they always end up being the nicest, sweetest person. There has been times where someone like for sure like doesn't know their lines or isn't as prepared as everyone else. But that doesn't mean that might just be like their process. It doesn't mean that they were unkind or mean to me. There really is no memory of a celebrity in the sense being rude or mean to me.
Well, who are some good positive like experiences you have with celebrities?
It's hard to think just like off the top of my head.
Because everyone knows mine. I've talked about them online.
Yeah. Okay. Can I say that you are and have been, and I knew this, you're not famously friends with, but like you're friends with like the biggest pop star on the planet.
Ariana Grande.
Yeah. And I knew that, and you had been on, I think, a couple times.
I was friends with her before she was famous. Like,
yeah, no, sure.
I mean, she was kind of famous, but like not like famous.
But she was pretty famous. And
she was like on Broadway,
and her brother, who I'd met, and he worked on Haters Back Off. But it had been a thing that was like, oh wow, yeah, she's friends with Ariana Grande. That's crazy. And you had FaceTimed with her had been FaceTime with her and been like, oh, say hi to my friend. And I was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like to me, it was like a little bit stressful and anxiety inducing the first time and only time I think that I met her, that you were like, oh, we're going to go to her concert at the Forum in LA and we're going to go backstage. Like I was just like, oh, okay. But then I was like, in my mind, I was like, this is a bit intense. This is a bit like of an intense. And I've been in other circumstances like that. But
what'd you think of her?
But she was so nice and friendly and great. And like, I even at the beginning of like, when we were like backstage and it's a huge concert, and like I don't know what that's like, but I know before I have to had done a performance of like a play or something, like I just want to be alone in my space. And like, so you guys were talking, I was like, should I leave so you guys can catch up and just talk? And she was like, no, blah blah blah. And she was asking me questions about myself. She was so nice. And then
yeah,
I mean, we had just had Flynn probably a number of months before, and I had to like run out to the car to
Do my
get your
pump.
breast pump.
Yeah, they turned her
so that
dressing
you
room
could-
into like a room for me to pump. Like they're the
Yeah.
Grannies are wonderful. Ariana
so
is so sweet.
nice. And so like I had to like have her personal security let me go outside to get your breast pump from our car, but then make sure that I could get back in. And then when I walked back in, one of the Kardashians was right at the doorway to her dressing room.
Kourtney Kardashian.
Yeah, and she was
kind of rude, but like I loved it.
Yeah, and then we were just
not
sitting
like
there.
I feel like I need to clarify. I'm really sorry to interrupt you. Just let me clarify really fast.
Please go ahead.
She wasn't like rude. It was just like Ari was like, "These are my friends, Colleen and Erik," and she's like, "Hi." And like it just
Yeah.
turned her back to us, and
It
I was
might have
like,
just
"Yes."
been-
And she
yeah.
kind of shaded us, but like, and I would too if I. She was fine. She was kind of rude, but like, and like I loved it
Yeah,
kind
I
of way.
do.
Like I was kind of living for it.
It was just kind of. I was like, I got to run to this parking lot to get a breast pump, and when I walked back in, she was
Kourtney Kardashian was
standing
there.
in the doorway, and I was like, "Excuse me," I said, I have to get by with this. And then so I come in, and I'm holding a breast pump, literally in my hands, and there's
Mhm.
all these famous people in her dressing room, and then. Here I am holding this breast pump, and then you start pumping, and then in that
I don't
moment,
care. I'm just like in front of all these famous
she then
people
is
I don't know.
playing
Just
new
like,
songs that the world has not heard
oh,
yet.
yes, it was so
that even
exciting.
these famous, powerful people are hearing for the first time with us sitting there also like
pumping and like
and you're pumping, and then it was like, and then we got to enjoy the concert. That was interesting.
Yeah.
There was like a phase when I first moved to LA. And me and my friends, like we were all kind of new here and figuring it out. There was a phase of like going to like, oh, did you hear about this celebrity party? Like this celebrity's having a
You were
party.
one of those?
No, I was not. I was the absolute opposite of one of those. But like I had a group of friends and they would be like, we're going to this party. And then we would get to the party and then I would find out that it was like, not like sneaking in, but someone knew somebody who knew someone. And so like, oh yeah, it's cool. Like everyone's going to this party, like, and it was always incredibly awkward. And I always
whose houses?
hated it.
Who did you go to?
There was one time, it was like the middle of the day, and it was like, oh, there's a pool party just over the hill, like off Ventura. Like, oh yeah, let's all go to a pool party. Like we didn't have a pool. Like I was just living with my like roommates, like in this tiny little house in Venice.
And who was the party?
And it was Jared Leto's house, and he was having a pool party. But it was essentially just Jared
Who's
Leto.
Jared Leto?
He's a very famous actor. You don't know who he's like?
No, I know his
he's
name. I've heard his name.
He is an Academy Award
Because you've
winning
told me
actor.
this story many times. So
He's very famous from My So-Called Life. He was
I didn't see that.
on that, and then he played like the Joker in those DC movies.
I don't watch
like,
those.
and then he won an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for Dallas Buyers Club.
I
very
think I
handsome-
saw that.
very
Isn't
handsome.
Matthew McConaughey in that?
He is. He also won an Oscar for that as lead actor. But
I
like, he's a
don't
very
know.
handsome man, longer hair usually.
Okay. I'll look him up.
American Psycho. Have you seen that
I
movie?
don't think so.
Wow, really?
I'm sorry. Jared Leto? Yeah, you've always
You know, it's
told
funny.
us-
I think you
Oh,
interviewed
okay.
him as Miranda for like that MTV
I
Movie Awards
did.
thing.
Oh, that's where
Yeah.
I know him.
And we showed up to this pool
I thought
party.
he was a musician.
He is.
Oh.
He also has a band.
Okay, so that's how I interviewed him. He was like,
yeah, I
with his
think
band.
that's after his acting
Oh,
career
how
was
embarrassing. I'm so
extremely
sorry. I'm so
successful.
glad he will never watch this.
But me and my roommates, because one of my roommates was an assistant at this management company, knew a girl who was like also an assistant at this company that somehow got invited to this pool party. And she was like, you guys should come. And we went there, and there was like security at this gate to this like mansion with this giant pool, these big stairs. When you first walked in, these big stairs like to the pool. And I remember we got there, and it was just like him and like two buddies, and then just so many girls,
Mhm.
but like no other guys. And then these four guys show up to this pool party, and I was just like, oh, we're not famous. We don't know him. Like, I didn't know this is where we were going. We're immediately going to get kicked out.
Mhm.
And he came straight up to us at the bottom of the stairs. And I was like, oh, this is him being like, literally being like, oh,
Mhm.
like, what are you doing here at my house? And he was so inviting and nice.
Oh,
And
that's
was
so
instantly
nice.
come sit down, come enjoy. There's food over here. There's drinks. You know what I
Aw.
mean? Like, get in the pool. Like, he was so nice. It's so unexpected. And then another time, there was like in this phase, which was very short lived, there was another party that we went to in the hills. Like, oh, it's just this big party. We're going to this party. Like, oh, okay, we're going to this party tonight. And remember, we drove to this house way up in the hills. Like, the Hollywood sign was right over it. Like, it looked like it was like in your face. And there was like valet parking at a party, which is my first experience. We're like, what do you mean we're at this house? Why is there valet parking? Like, what is Los Angeles, California? And then we get out of the car and we go, there was like security and like, but someone knew someone that like we were allowed into this party. And I slowly realized that everyone is kind of in costume, either as a cowboy or a Native American.
That party would be canceled.
A little bit, yeah. It
fast
sure would.
Now. That
This
is so
was
inappropriate.
8, 9.
Like cultural appropriation to the. Thank goodness you weren't dressed up. You would get canceled.
Well, that's
for that.
the kind of button to this story.
Okay.
Is that yes, because I didn't know what party we were going to, and none of us did. We just knew, there's this party.
This must have been so long
Someone
ago.
had texted someone, here's this big party. Then we're valeting it somewhere in the hills, and we're let into this party, and everyone is dressed like this, and it's at Maroon 5's house.
Really?
Yeah.
You've never told me this.
I've never told you this story, no. And we stood out so much because we were literally the only people that weren't dressed as one or the other.
Oh my gosh.
Like everyone else was decked out. Like, and right as we got in, I felt like it was very strange. Like we got in and I was like, everyone's dressed as this. And then all of a sudden we were in a circle and it was just the members of Maroon 5. I felt like we're in a circle around us. Dressed.
I feel like they're the type that would perform at their own party. Did they perform? I feel like they'd be like, we're going to sing for you guys now. I feel like that would be their jam.
I don't know that they did. I don't have a memory of that.
So funny. That's amazing. Those stories are better than mine.
But they didn't kick us. I think we got some.
Were they nice?
I think like Adam Levine, is that his name? Like gave us like a side eye, but they didn't like kick us out. Like they were nice and like, you're here, so welcome.
Why not? Yeah.
Here's all this stuff. But
well, it sounds amazing. You know what else?
What am I telling
amazing?
this story?
I don't know. I love it. People wanted to know about our celebrity encounters, and they all know mine, so they didn't know yours. So it was like I was curious too.
That's just like 2 random pool parties. Like I have so many other stories.
Well, maybe we'll do a whole
and
episode
working with
on
people that were like awesome. And strange.
Yeah, I feel like I have horror stories of people being awful, but they're never like famous celebrities. It's always someone who thinks that they are more famous than they are. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I have so many more stories than that. Those were just like, I think I went on like a pool party tangent.
It's fine. You can do that.
Okay.
Pool parties are fun, but they can ruin your hair. And so it's a good thing that we're sponsored by someone who can help you. It's summertime. Your hair can get all busted. So it might be good to like start looking into some new hair products because, we've all heard of a phrase, the phrase good hair day. You know what we're talking about. When your hair looks good and feels absolutely perfect and you don't have to spend so much time in front of the mirror trying to make it
Is this a Function of Beauty ad?
Work. It's a Function of Beauty ad.
Welcome back.
If
I use your products, then thank you.
We love you guys. Function of Beauty makes hair care products that are 100% customized to your needs so you can turn your good hair days into good hair life.
Whoa.
Hey-o. We love Function of Beauty.
I just got goosebumps here.
I know. That was really good. Function of Beauty is the world leader in customizable beauty, offering customized formulations for your hair's needs. Here's how to get started. First, you take a quick little quiz that's very thorough, and you tell them a little bit about your hair type. Is it straight, wavy, curly, oily, coily? What is it? And your hair goals, such as lengthen, volumize, oil control,
What about frizz?
No, they got frizz. You can get frizz fixed.
Frizz?
Oh, they cover it all. Like the next thing I was about to say, love. Did your hair get frizzy in the winter?
Oh,
but oily in the summer? When the seasons change, so can your hair goals. Switch up your goals based on how your hair looks and feels, or keep your formula the same every single time. It's up to you. Next, you choose your color and your fragrance. I, of course, always go with purple, and I love lavender. It makes me feel like I'm at a day spa. But you can also go fragrance and dye-free if you would prefer that. After you take your quiz, Function of Beauty will send you your 100% customized formula along with a regimen card with recommendations on when and how to use your products. Function of Beauty also just launched its best-in-class subscriber program, Function with Benefits. Subscribers get discounts on every order, free treatment, hair mask, serum, or leave-in, every 4 orders, access to exclusive fragrances and colors, early access to new products, and more. Super awesome. Go check it out. If this sounds like something you guys want to do, which you should because it's the best.
Does it say your name on the bottle when you order it?
It says Function of Colleen on mine, and yours says Function of Erik. So we never get it mixed up. If you guys want to check it out, you can turn your good hair days into good hair life. Go to functionofbeauty.com/relax to take your quiz and save 20% on your first order. Go to functionofbeauty.com/relax to let them know you heard about it from our show and to get that 20% off your order. That is functionofbeauty.com/relax. All right. So one of the other things that was
Wait.
What?
Before we get to the next thing, it's been a while. It's been a while since we've done a truck of the day. It's also been a while since we've done bump check. Wow, 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 wow. Hey, Christopher, can you put in that sound here?
What? It's been a while.
Bump check.
It's been a while because we've never done it. Have we ever done a bump check on our
I don't know, but
podcast? It's an audio medium.
I think we did it one time. Here,
so I will show you my bump check, and since this isn't a podcast where they listen to it, you have to describe it. Okay. So let's get some fun music going. Some
time
elevator.
For a bump check.
Defeats the purpose a little bit, love, when you go like, put in this sound and then you continue to just do the sound.
I like, keep us talking about you putting in the sound and then the sound coming in. I think it's pleasing to me.
So you're going to describe the bump as I show it because people are listening to this. They can't hear my bump. Okay, so here you go.
She's standing up. She's wearing a lovely orange romper. It's reminding me of a basketball. Can I palm it? I don't even know if I could palm this. I couldn't dunk this, love. It's big.
So
why is it so big now?
Because I'm having twins. Oh. So we are, I am 16 weeks pregnant. That means I'm 4 months pregnant technically now with twins. And also women just show differently. Like there are women who get to like 29, 30 weeks and they still don't even look pregnant. I've always, with Flynn and with his pregnancy, I look very pregnant when I'm pregnant.
Before my experience, before, if I were to imagine a 9-month pregnant
you would have imagined
woman,
me right now.
Yeah. And you look gorgeous, beautiful, like all those things. I'm talking specifically about your bump. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that's a 9-month pregnant woman. If you were in a TV show or a movie and you had like a belly or a fake belly, I would be like, oh yeah, I buy that. She's about to have a baby.
Like the comparison with Flynn and this pregnancy, when I go like week by week and compare them, like it is significantly bigger. Like this bump is wild. I think just because my body's already been through it. So the skin's already stretched. My uterus is already stretched. Like everything knows what it's doing.
Heard that happens.
So like it happens faster. But on top of that, it's twins. And there's 2 placentas and 2 babies in there.
But some days it we'll wake up the next day and you'll get out of bed.
Today this happened. Today I was like, it's huge.
Shocked. I think there was something today about how we got in the car and you put your seatbelt on and the way the seatbelt then cut off your romper there. And it was just like, what's happening? How pregnant are you? Do we have the date wrong?
We don't have the date wrong. We have the date right. But it's just, my body carries babies very forward. Like with Flynn, this happened. That
makes sense. Okay.
Like at the end of my pregnancy with Flynn, everyone was like, I still had a month to go. And people were like, are you having twins? This is the biggest pregnant stomach I've ever seen.
My father was like, you're the most pregnant woman I've ever seen.
I look so pregnant. And this one, like I already look how I looked when I was like 30 weeks pregnant with Flynn. And I'm not kidding, guys. We're at the point where like I said, I'm 16 weeks and my pregnancy apps still are like,
she might be showing soon.
You might be showing soon. It might be time to get some new clothes. Like you might need to start looking into like buying a little bit of it. Are your pants having a hard time buttoning? Like that's what my pregnancy apps say. And I'm like, I've been in maternity clothes since I was 6 weeks pregnant. It's like, it's insane.
What do we have to look forward to? Like what is
I am going to have
the end game of this going to be? It's just we're going to need a table on wheels.
That's a great idea. So I can walk around. I don't know. I am a little nervous about it because I've been watching a lot of videos of people, pregnant women and pregnant people who have twins, and their bodies are incredible. I can't believe our bodies can grow 2 humans at the same time. It's amazing. But it's also like it looks CGI.
But at the same time, it looks like bad CGI.
It's crazy.
There was one woman you showed me on TikTok who's pregnant with twins, and she was like very mobile. Like she was moving, but it was like I don't understand how she didn't tip over. And then it was.
I don't know, but I'm nervous, but I'm just trying to take it one day at a time. Like I was saying before we started talking about my pregnantness,
that has been bump check.
Oh my God. A lot of people wanted us to talk about ghost stories, and we're gonna run out of time, so this is gonna have to wait. But like how this
Should we do a ghost story episode?
I think so, because how this started was Flynn started saying that he could see a ghost.
Oh, cherry picker.
And it was really creepy. And we found out later what he was talking about, but like he was like, I see a ghost. There's a ghost in my room. I saw a ghost at the beach.
It's way more.
It was a little girl.
Yeah, no, well, what it was
creepy.
we were both putting him to bed at the same time, which doesn't happen that often. Like, you know what I mean? Usually we take turns.
yeah.
But we were both in there in the pitch black dark with him, and he's laying in bed in between us, and we're like trying to get ready to get him to sleep. And he goes, "Who's that? Who's over there?"
There's a ghost in there.
And we were like, "What? There's a ghost over there." And
so I started asking questions.
I lost it. Yeah.
Yeah, Erik just went silent. But I was like trying to.
I was terrified. I didn't want him to be scared. Terrified me.
So I was like, he has a big imagination. And I was like, could just be he's making stuff up. He could see a shadow. He could see a ghost. I don't know, but I don't want him to freak out. So I was like, oh, is it a kid? Or is it a man or an adult? And he's like, it's a little girl.
It's a little girl. And with every answer, like to all of your questions,
very matter of fact.
Every answer, it was it was like as if this person was standing there in the pitch black darkness right next to us.
Well, first he was talking about a little girl at the beach. So we went to the beach that day, and he had said that he saw a little girl in the sand. She was not in the water. He said, she's not in the water. She was on the sand, a little girl. And I said, what's her name? And he said, Cherry Picker.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we were in the room, he said, there's a
great
ghost in here.
Great name for a ghost, by the way.
He said, there's a ghost in here. And then he was talking about the ghost in the room. And he's done that a few
Anybody
times.
else listening have goosebumps? Like, I'm scared now even read.
So I talked about it in my vlog. And then the comments were like, there's a top comment that said like, this is from a cartoon about some tow truck show or something that I don't watch with him, but I guess he's watched with you or like my parents at some point or something.
Yeah, with me. Yeah, there's a tow truck show. And in one episode, there was of course, because when you're making entertainment for toddlers, you're going to have a ghost episode.
Well, he doesn't watch that show anymore.
He certainly does not.
And I guess there's an episode he must have seen once. And Flynn is a sponge. You show or say anything to him once, he will remember it forever. And so he must have just remembered it and was talking about it that night. So we figured out what it was.
Like it was the only time he had seen in the world, like of his entertainment, a ghost. And so he's now seeing a real ghost, but he doesn't know how to describe it to us. So he's like, oh, well, Cherry Picker, like that's a ghost.
I just
so
had
now
a
he's
thought.
like seeing a real ghost because our child sees ghosts.
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't. He doesn't see ghosts. But
he's like, this is
you
how
know
I'll
what's funny
explain
is
to
I talked about this on my Insta story. And my friend, who is a professional ghost hunter, like literally is on the show Ghost Hunters.
You do have that friend.
He's amazing. I love him. His name is Adam. And he actually helped me with my last ghost hunting video. I love ghost hunting. I've had a lot of ghost encounters in the past that I'd love to talk more about. I've talked about some of them on here. I feel like we got
to do a whole episode of this then.
Yeah, well, this is what I was just thinking. We should do an episode.
Would he come
That's what I was
on?
going to say. I think he would because he did an episode of, or not an episode, of a YouTube video with me where I went ghost hunting and he sent me like ghost hunting equipment. And I went ghost hunting with Corey and Rachel, and he like gave me tips on how to do it. And I interviewed him on it.
I think he needs to check out Flynn's room and see if
he actually gave me
Cherry Picker is.
He actually gave me like great advice. He's like, hey, do you mind if which I actually really appreciate this because a lot of people just give you unsolicited parenting advice.
Uh-huh.
And he reached out and was like, do you mind if I tell you something about children and ghosts? Like he asked my permission first, which I thought was really like
that's
thoughtful.
Nice. Yeah.
And of course I said yes. I love him. He's my friend. But like and he knows, I mean, he's a professional ghost hunter, like literally a professional ghost hunter. He has crazy stories.
He's on the show.
Ghost Hunters, yeah.
That's a big show, right?
Yeah.
What network is that on?
I think it's switched, but I know at some point it was like Discovery. I don't know. I should know this.
Like
I feel like
show.
a very bad friend that I'm not saying.
I'm very aware of and have heard of Ghost Hunters. But yeah.
Well, anyway, he's lovely. And he sent me this long thing all about children and ghosts and how to approach kids when they think they see ghosts or talk to ghosts or what. But before I knew, he was like, I can almost guarantee you that he saw ghosts on a TV show and that is what he's talking about.
Oh, that's so relieving to me.
Because he said kids don't know what a ghost is. So if a kid says, I saw a ghost, they don't know what a ghost is. So, and when kids see ghosts, they're not going to say, I see a ghost. They're going to say, there's a little girl or there's a little boy or there's a man.
Yeah, I totally, in that moment, as he was saying it, I was like, this is the Sixth Sense. Like I'm living that movie.
So we wanted to do a whole episode on it and then we just kind of forgot about it. And, but a lot of people said they wanted it. So maybe we'll do an episode all about my ghost experiences, your ghost experiences, paranormal experiences, crazy stories we've heard, and maybe talk to him. I was watching, what's that show? Unsolved Mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reboot of it, which our executive producer on Haters Back Off is an executive producer on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And so we watched to support him. And also it's a great show. And there was a really fascinating episode on the tsunamis that happened.
I didn't see that one. You watched that one without me. Yeah.
It was so good.
I gotta watch
This is all
that.
about ghost stories.
We're watching that tonight.
Yeah, you got to watch it. It's so good. So basically, like, I'm not going to spoil a bunch of it. You guys should go check it out. It's great. But it was so fascinating to hear about all the ghost stories that happened after that tsunami happened. And what the most interesting one to me,
Maybe I'm not watching
because
it.
there's
Whoa.
proof of it. There's like actual proof. But there's all these cab drivers who have reported, and their meter's going, and they like do the ride where they pick up someone and they tell them where to go. And when the cab driver gets there, they're not in the car anymore. They've just disappeared. But like they pick them up, like
I'm done.
no. And there's also stories of like people who like knock on doors and like people open the doors to their home, and it'd be someone who's soaking wet asking for dry clothes, and they give them dry clothes and they just walk away. Like there's like, but they were ghosts. Like they weren't people. Like they're like years later, just like wet ghosts because they like drown in the tsunami.
I already don't sleep.
It's crazy. Also, that tsunami was just so devastating and horrifying and awful, like so sad. So it's hard to watch because it's like just makes you cry.
But
at
if
how
you could
horrible
imagine
that experience
any
that was for
place
anyone.
where there would be some sort of
when that many people die in one place, like oh, it's so awful. But anyway, if you guys want us to talk more about all this stuff, maybe we'll have a spooky episode coming soon. That'd be kind of fun. But this was a fun episode. I liked them planning our episode. Like, wasn't this fun?
It's interesting to have the interaction with people that listen.
Like you guys telling us what you want to hear.
Inspiring conversation.
So if you're not already following us, please go follow us on Twitter at @relax_podcast and let us know what you want us to talk about.
We put out these questions for the episodes, right?
And thank you to Chris, our wonderful producer and editor, and TJ, just my right-hand man hero, and Erik for being so hot, and
Jesus.
and my parents for watching Flynn so that we could record this podcast right now, and to you for listening, and our sponsors. So many people to thank. I feel like I won an Oscar.
To all those ingredients that were inside Colleen's burritos.
I think I want a burrito for dinner. You keep talking
You're just
about
going to
burritos.
squeeze all this stuff out.
I know. Give me the essence. I need some beans essence for dinner. I want some beans essence in a tortilla.
We're offering up $1 million idea here. Just make bean essence tortillas.
I would be the only person who would purchase this. So it's not $1 million idea. It's however much the burrito would cost because I would be the one person buying it.
I had fun spending time with you for this one.
Me too. This was fun. We love you guys. Thanks for listening. Here's a wonderful cover of our theme song. Enjoy.
You can relax. Colleen and Erik have a podcast. The world is crazy and we're locked in our homes. But now we have big microphones. So you can relax. That's the name of our podcast.
You can relax. Colleen and Erik have a podcast. The world is scary and we're locked in our home. But now we have big microphones. So you can relax. That's the name of our podcast.